prediction of a natural disaster. Dead sections. An enormous event will precede the last end that is bound to make people who survive it think. It will be an omen of the end, a devastation on a small scale in comparison to the last work of annihilation of this earth, yet of such an extent never experienced by mankind from the beginning of this earth. It is a natural happening that will throw all people who are affected by it or hear of it into a turmoil, for the consequences of the incidents are too enormous as to go unnoticed. There will be created so-called dead earth sections that show no life at all because the transpiration of the earth on those areas choke out every life. There will be a visible influence of natural forces noticed so that this phenomenon will not be traceable back to human influence because I want to reveal myself by means of the occurrence in order to substantiate the near end, which is continuously announced by seers and prophets on my behalf. Renewed sorrow is imminent to people and they cannot be spared of this sorrow as long as they still pay their tribute to the world and pay their respect to me just on the way by. They need to search for me in order for me to be found, and this can only be accomplished by means of such an event that cannot be brought in context with the work of man. They'll have to feel the higher power behind it and to entrust themselves in their earthly distress to this power. But that's why they need to be subject to this power for the sake of taking resort to it on their own. Earthly speaking, they have to be without help in order to visibly feel the help from above. That's why a violent storm will emerge that uproots and jolts up everything. The earth will split open and from above and below people will be at the mercy of the elements against which they won't be able to battle because their strength won't be sufficient. An unbearable heat will already render people unable and dull before, and apathetically they watch the first phenomena in nature until they then recognize their grim situation and now nearly brutally fight for their life, which they fear to lose. And all those who are of good will I will stand by in their need, and I will give them knowledge so they will see my ruling and working in all the happenings, and from this insight also teach their neighbors and encourage them to turn to me and to preach to them about my love, wisdom and omnipotence so that they may call upon me when in danger. And I will be their guide, and throughout all of the distress all those who believe in me and are willing to serve me in the last time prior to the end shall be saved. For shortly after these happenings the destruction of the old earth will follow, as it is written. Yet, people are not to experience this destruction unprepared, and that's why I send ahead a shadow as a last indication, to be believed, so that people will not enter their eternal ruin but are able to be saved, if making use of their will in the appropriate manner. Amen.